advice could you give to anyone preparing or thinking about repatriating to Africa?
I think I think anyone that's considering repatriating to Africa already normally has a love for Africa. I think that's number one. Just have an unyielding love for Africa. And if you love the continent, of course, you're going to love the people on the continent. And if you have love for your people, you can adapt. And I think that's major. Knowing how to adapt to different situations. Things in some respects things can move a little bit quicker, but in most respects things move a little bit slow. And even though we don't like to admit it, I know I didn't like to admit it, but the reality is growing up in America or probably growing up in Jamaica or the UK, there's some element of our minds have been to some degree colonized, whether we want to admit it or not. So we have to sort of we can't expect that level of colonialism or that colonized mind to go away the second we land on the continent. We can't expect that our expectations are going to change the second that we landed. I remember in Kenya, I was trying to watch the, the Super Bowl on like those play-by-play Super Bowl things that they do on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and the electricity kept going out. It kept going out, and I never felt more American in my life because I can play. Play. Why can't these people get the electricity right? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
then I had to listen to myself.
yeah,
It's like the reality is this is how it is. Not that that excuses the fact that our people don't deserve electricity to be available properly, but just
right,
that's the way it is at that point. So we need to learn to adjust. We don't want to lower our expectations in terms of thinking that the quality is less this side, but we need to just understand that things move differently.
right.
Um, and there are certain elements of the culture that we were raised in the states that can be beneficial to what we are trying to accomplish here. This idea of you want to be on time for everything. To some degree, that's good. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? That's a good thing. So there are certain elements of the culture that we were raised in. We want to keep the good stuff, you know, be
yeah,
aware of the bad stuff, and at the same time be able to embrace the good things about Africa that we love, but also be able to, reject some of the things in Africa that aren't proper. Because if we want to keep it completely real, there are certain elements of certain things that go on a continent that I don't think is acceptable, that
absolutely.
don't conform to my values and norms. So we need to also learn to be advocates in our own way, advocates for change, because ultimately, my saying is we want to create an Africa where our children can reach their greatest aspirations. So maybe it might be a little bit too late for Africa for it to be the perfect Africa for my generation,
For us,
but
yeah,
we want to work diligently so our children, you know, because my kids are to the age right now where they're about to look at universities. I tell
yeah,
them go wherever you want to go. I don't want to hold you back. If you want to go to New York, if you want to go to Ohio, if you want to go to the UK, go if that's where you want to go. But also realize you can look at Addis Ababa University. You can look at the University of Cape Town. You can look at the
yeah,
University of Ghana. You can look at universities in Rwanda. So we want to work so our institutions can accommodate, you know, these young dreamers that are coming up in Africa. So that's really what I think my ultimate goal is. And I'm hoping that I think my children get it. And I'm hoping some of the people that I interact with, I'm hoping some of that rubs off on some of my friends and colleagues this side as well.
I believe you are as low key and laid back as you are. I think you're making I think you're making a really big impact, um, whether you know it or not. Because I always see people share videos of you all the time. It's never anything negative. I've never seen anything negative about you. I think you are doing a really good job representing your our people, your family. I think you are what the kind of example that we need as far as repatriation goes, as far as Black men goes, as far as just what it should look like, you know.
I appreciate
And,
that, my sister. Thank
and
you.
I really, really appreciate your stubbornness in staying, because it's difficult to stay, um, and it's difficult to leave.
Mhm.
So I appreciate the fact that you've been able to have a well made up mind, which is what I tell people all the time. Is when moving or repatriate into Africa, you have to have a well made up mind about making it, because it's not going to be easy. There is no social system to catch you. Um,
Mhm.
so you have to be ready to stand and stand strong. And you've done that. You've done that since 2009, and I
Give
appreciate
thanks.
that. For more on this video, please click the link in the description below. Thank you.